Hi, I'm Jamie Peterson and we are reviewing the 2021 Subaru Forester 2.5 litre. Thank you to Subaru South Africa for letting me drive this for a week to get a feel. So first things first, what's new for 2021 for the Forester? There are automatic high beams and adaptive headlights, and that comes across all trim levels. It's not just for your higher levels. They've made sure that even the base model gets these features. Another feature for 2021 is that there is a rear compact console for storage in the back seat. Unfortunately, that's not for the base model, but for every other model after that, you will find one of those. So what's different between the 2021 Forester and the Outback? So firstly, there is a higher ground clearance. It's got 8.5 inches of ground clearance, which adds to it feeling more like an SUV than the Outback. One of the things that we love about the Forester that is different to the Outback and new for 2021 is how big the door frames are and how large the windows are. So most moms will know, and don't judge me for this because you've probably done it, that when you put your children in, you sometimes hit their head when the frames are too small. But in this car, there's more than enough space and you won't hit their heads. So as a woman, looks for me matter. And the great thing about the Forester is that it's stylish, it's got chrome finishes in all the right places without it being too much. And with this particular trim, we've got 18-inch wheels. Previous trim models all have 17-inch wheels, but the rims look great too. The only thing I would have a complaint about is the mirrors. This looks very plasticky. They should have gone with the same color as the car or a slightly lighter tone, but that's just a lady's opinion on style. Another great thing for us ladies that like to pack extra, there's more than enough boot space, but just in case there's not, there's raised roof rails too. That gives you a little bit more packing space when needed. Another great addition to the 2021 style of the Forester is the rear boot spoiler and the C-shaped taillights. And while we're speaking about space with the top rails, we've got an automatic tailgate, especially when your hands are full with the kids and the groceries. And there's more than enough boot space to go around. And especially for your groceries, you've got grocery hooks to stop them from sliding in the back. And another great feature, especially for moms, because we don't always get this right, is these rear seat clips, which makes it easy to push your seats down in case you need more space. One of the most important things I look for, especially when buying a family car and an SUV, is how much space you have in the rear seats. I'm sure moms and dads will feel my pain when I tell you how irritating it is when the kids can kick the backrest, especially on a long journey. So with the back of the Forester, both of my car seats fit comfortably. There is an ISOFIX latch as well. And he doesn't need to kick my seat because he's got more than enough leg room. Luckily in the Forester, there's more than enough space, even for adults in the back seat. There's enough leg room and enough headroom, and the storage pockets in the back of the seat mean that they can tuck away all those toys that get in the way while driving. Another great feature, especially for the 2021 Forester, is the 2 rear USB ports in the back. This is great for older children that need to charge their phones, iPads and other devices. I love the inside driving area of the Forester. You've got this huge panoramic sunroof and there's so much space in front of you. There's enough leg space, you can adjust your steering wheel, and the visibility is amazing in this car. You actually feel like you're driving an SUV. Another great thing is that the inside isn't cheap. It doesn't have a plastic interior. Everything is elegant and the finishes have been detailed really well. Another great thing about the car in the front is not only are there 2 rear USB ports, but there are 2 ports in the front as well. You can adjust your seat with memory settings so that you don't lose your perfect sitting. Another key feature is your cup holders, which are in the front and in the back, so you can keep your coffee while you're on the go in the mornings with the kids. And then of course you've got your Starlink infotainment system. So not all the trims come with your navigation, but it's okay because there's Android Auto and there's your Apple CarPlay. So simply hook up your phone and you can run your maps like that. I'm always getting lost, so having directions on a bigger screen is great. I love how easy it is to connect my phone to the Forester. Simply connect with your Bluetooth, search for your phone. You can make phone calls for hands-free driving. You can play music through your phone, and you can access your maps as well. As much as I love the inside, there are some things for this car. Everything else is modern, but there's one or two things that don't quite fit. When asked, did you see a rear mirror that still dims? I think this is a little bit outdated for such a modern car. To get into the bottom of this center console, you have to lift this piece out to take anything out or put anything in. This for me then serves no purpose to hold anything. They should have had that in a separate area. The 2021 Forester is a push button start. As long as you have the key on you, the car will start and you can put that in a safe place while driving. One of the downfalls of this car is when it locks. So if you've put your car into parking mode or if you've turned the engine off, the doors will automatically unlock. In South Africa, that's not the best feature, especially for ladies if you're going to finish with a phone call or reach around and grab something in the back and you're not ready for the car to be completely unlocked. One of the features they should have rather explored is to have the car unlock the moment you open the handle. So that's unfortunately a bit of a downside for me. A small one, but in South Africa I think that is a bit worrying. Okay, so we're going to take the Forester for a drive and put it through some of its paces. So under the hood we've got a 4-cylinder 2.5 litre petrol engine with about 135 kilowatts of power. There's a CVT automatic transmission, which is 7-speed. But it's one of the few things that I don't like about this car is the gearbox. I think it would have been better suited to a DSG gearbox rather than the CVT. It's quite harsh with changing gears. But other than that, it's a minor technicality. So Subaru also has their trademark all-wheel drive, which will definitely put it through its paces on that. And it doesn't have the more powerful powertrains like the Honda CR-V and the Mazda CX-5 and even the new Toyota RAV4. So you're not going to get as much oomph out of those larger cars with the higher powertrain. But the handling is still very similar to that of a sports car. The handling and the steering and even the braking. So while you might not have the same acceleration as the higher powertrains, you do still feel like you've got the same drive. So we'll do an acceleration test, but it goes from 0 to 100 in about 8.5 seconds, which is pretty slow. But if you're a mum and you're just doing your day-to-day driving, then the casual driving doesn't need high acceleration. So you can still get away, and it's still pretty zippy. But if you've grown up to be a bit of a petrol head myself, I think Subaru should explore maybe putting a WRX engine in here. Just like the Jeep has the SRT, Mercedes has AMG, and BMW has N Sport. It would be great to see the Forester have a more sportier version with the WRX engine. I think that would be a winner for the dads too. And it should stop at the stop street too without me having to brake. There we go. I haven't touched anything. It's definitely a much better function than your average cruise control, and it should pick off on its own. There we go. Okay, so let's switch this off. And we can give it an acceleration test. We'll just need to get a clearer road. The Forester has Subaru's trademark EyeSight Camera system. As you can see what's happening in the front of the car, back of the car, and the sides of the vehicle. So the acceleration test. Let's see how well it handles off-road on these dirt roads. low range gear. And I love how well this car handles the outdoors and 4x4ing. This all-wheel drive is phenomenal. I think I may have to take up 4x4ing after this. It's just so much fun.